Welcome to Mike's Retro Curiosities, where we explore the wonderful world of retro games. Today we're taking a look at the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Now, the original Neo Geo Pocket was a black and white system released in 1998. However, this system was very quickly rendered obsolete by the release of the Game Boy Color the same year. So SNK released a revision called the Neo Geo Pocket Color, which, as you can guess, played games in color the following year in 1999. The system was created by SNK and was more or less intended as a sort of portable version of their Neo Geo arcade and console hardware. The system utilizes a 16-bit Toshiba TLCS 900/H core processor running at 6.144 megahertz. It also features an additional Z80 processor running at 3.072 megahertz, which is used for sound processing. The system has 12 kilobytes of RAM, plus an additional 4 kilobytes for the Z80 processor, 4 kilobytes for the tile map, and 8 kilobytes of character RAM. The screen is 2.6 inches with a resolution of 160 by 152, and it's capable of displaying up to 146 colors from a palette of about 4,096. In terms of sound, this device has 3 square wave tone channels, 1 noise generator, and 2 6-bit digital to analog converters. The system is powered by 2 AA batteries, plus there's an additional watch battery that can be used for the internal clock. Or, put into layman's terms, the Neo Geo Pocket Color is more powerful than the Game Boy Color, but not as powerful as the Game Boy Advance. In terms of controls, as you can see, it has 2 face buttons plus an option button, but what kind of sets it apart from other systems is its sort of clicky control stick. It's definitely intended to sort of mimic the action and feel of an arcade joystick, but there really isn't anything quite like this thing. It's quite nice to use. Games, of course, came on ROM cartridges. I'm going to show you guys some of the games I happen to have for this system. This is by no means exhaustive, and some of these will probably be getting full episodes at some point, so this will just be kind of a quick overview. First off, we have Sonic's Pocket Adventure. This is a very good game. It's kind of a sort of altered take on Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Definitely very good, and definitely one of the games that is most well known for the system. Of course, it wouldn't be an SNK system without plenty of fighting games, and they brought over many of their big franchises, such as Fatal Fury and Samurai Showdown and the King of Fighters. This was even the platform that saw the first SNK vs. Capcom title. Fighting games on handheld tended to, frankly, not be very good, but these games were definitely a big step up from what we had previously seen. They had very good animation, strong mechanics, they played very smoothly, and they still hold up surprisingly well. You also have a really solid port of Neo Turf Masters to this system. There's also a fully original Metal Slug game. This one actually plays a little bit different from traditional Metal Slug in that you kind of have branching paths and stuff to add to the replayability. A really cool game, honestly. You also have Puzzle Link, which is a fairly interesting take on the puzzle genre. It's definitely very addicting. I really enjoy this one a lot. There's Beastbusters Dark Arms, which is kind of an action RPG title. Not very well known, but it's definitely a good one. And one of the most acclaimed games on the system is SNK vs. Capcom Card Fighters Clash. It's basically a crossover between Capcom and SNK characters in the form of a card battler, and it uses its own unique system. It's not based on anything, and it's a pretty fun game. Kind of basic, but it has a lot of depth to it. One accessory I happen to have is the official Neo Geo Pocket Color carrying case. It contains 2 pouches. The front one is for the system, and the back one is for the games. Not to mention on the back you have these 2 straps which are used to attach it to your belt. Man, you would look just so cool walking down the street with this thing on your hip. While I don't have it, there's also an additional accessory that lets you connect this thing to a Sega Dreamcast. And man, if that isn't a match made in heaven, they're both the last dying gasps of failing hardware manufacturers, but still turned out surprisingly really well. What I'm trying to say is that this is the Dreamcast of portable systems. Because much like the Dreamcast, it was a great system with a lot of great games that sadly just did not get enough appreciation in its time. In the end, the system just could not compete with the juggernaut of Nintendo, especially since this was pretty much the height of Pokemania. On top of that, SNK was suffering from a wide range of issues at the time. There was the failure of the Neo Geo Hyper 64, not to mention their failed attempt at a theme park called Neo Geo Land. And between all this, it's no wonder why SNK ultimately went under and got bought out. But in spite of that, this is still a great system that's worth checking out. Luckily, many of the games for this system have been released digitally. There are a few that still haven't been released, but you can generally get most of the highlights. Though I do think that there is something kind of magical about playing it on the original system. Like, I'm usually not a huge stickler for original hardware. Do what you want. I like the original hardware, but, it's not the end of the world. But this one, the games on here just kind of feel just right, and I can't really explain it any other way. But yeah, that is the Neo Geo Pocket Color. What do you guys think about it? Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This episode is sponsored by M&M Games, and I will see you guys next time.